Alright friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment's Weak Army series, in which we continue with our mediocre army to challenge very tough Bannerlord foes and see with advanced tactics what kind of results we can actually pull off. Alright fellas, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to helping you get better at Bannerlord through the use of advanced field command and tactics. And we're going to continue on with our weaker army series here. We're observing this Vlandian force sieging one of our cities. And let's take a look at our army here. Our main army of 400 men, we're actually over capacity right now. And I did that because of the size of this Vlandian force. Now you see we still have our sturdy militia archers here. They're veteran archers at least. But they're still pretty weak. And you can see these troops want to upgrade, but we're trying to upgrade as few troops as possible for this series. You can see the rest of my companions' army here. We actually have a fair number of tier 4 troops, but one of the cruxes, the key to this whole challenge, is we don't have any tier 5 or 6 units. Anytime we get a tier 5 or 6, I simply disband them for this challenge, and just making sure, yeah, we don't have any 5 or 6 in any of the armies. And we have plenty of these guys wearing fucking plaid fucking kilts and whatnot, guys in fucking barkeep aprons. This is a new companion that we're adding to the series, and I've simply picked her up because the other guy got killed. So she has pretty solid stats. She's not an overwhelming leader, but she's going to be able to staff this third group here. The key, though, just like with the other ones, is that she has relatively weak troops and, of course, no tier 5 and no tier 6 units. So we have no strong units, no tier 5, no tier 6. Look at this army. Now, they're sieging, so some of them are wounded, but the healthy ones, you know, that number, 136 Vlandian Vanguard, that means it's 136 of their top knights, as well as a huge amount of banner knights, which is their noble unit, right? Those fierce banner knights. So look at 35 banner knights this guy's got, 97 heavy cav, 46 banner knights, 50 sharpshooters, right? This is a deadly army we are facing here, right? This is even more audacious than the last couple attempts. There's over 100 total sharpshooters here, and almost 100, actually more than 100 banner knights. So this is going to be a hellacious challenge here. Now we're going to run on normal player damage, and I may come back and do this battle with the RTS mod if people want to see this same battle. I've got a save game right here, but for this battle we're going to run in sort of normal commander mode. Now I like this battlefield here. I wish I was in a little different position, because I would use this ridge here. A peekaboo ridge defense would work pretty well in this situation. But I don't have that option. The enemies, I don't see the enemy, but they're going to appear somewhere down there. And so, let's see. Okay, we'll assign her to the 2nd Division. I think what we're going to do here is what I call a square and shock strategy. This gal's perfect. Look, increased melee damage versus mounted troops. So we're going to give her shock troops. We're going to assign her division shock troops, and the 1st division will be our square division. So let me show you what this looks like. There's the 1st and the 3rd. The 1st, okay, so there's too many shock troops in here. We'll reduce the number a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make that 3rd division. You can basically think of the 1st division as our shield, and the 3rd division is our sword, right? These are the guys that are going to kill the enemy. They're all, in fact, all of those guys are shock troops. Let's see how many we can put in there. Okay, so 66 shock troops. The idea is you square up the 1st division. That draws a lot of the attention of the enemy. You put it out in front so it acts as a bait ball to the enemy. The enemy attacks it, and then you send in these savage 3rd division guys. So I'm going to switch a couple captains here. This is perfect. She has decreased taken melee damage. That'll mean that square is even stronger against these huge amounts of banner knights that are going to be charging them. Let's see, Gweth. Okay, so here's what it looks like. You square the 1st, and then the 3rd division here, full of shock, gets sent in, and the idea is that those guys are going to get attacked less, and the 1st division is in defensive mode, and we have skirmishers behind them here to pelt the enemy with javelins. And of course we'll use our skirmishers here as a wall to help protect our archers somewhat. Now I'm going to use a crossbow division here, and you get that by assigning it that little shield icon. What that does is now, if these guys are attacked, they can simply be squared too, right? And this will give them a high degree of survivability against banner knights. They're not immune, of course, but that's going to allow those guys to survive. Now I'm also going to use these trees here. Anything you can in a battle like this against so many heavy cav, anything that you can do that will slow them down, that will stop their momentum or slow the momentum, you want to use, right? So these trees here will work. We're going to use squares. We're going to be dragging our squares here, and we'll see what we can do here. This seems like an insane challenge, but so was the last one. I was surprised that we had any chance with that battle as well. So we'll see how we do here. All right, so skirmishers, I'm going to put them up on the ridge here, and they're going to be a little bit of archer protection as well for these archers. This 5th Corps. The 5th Corps is going to be the crux early on in this battle. They're going to be doing major damage, and so I want to distract the enemy's attention from them, right? That bait ball out there towards the front, as soon as the enemy gets close, we're going to square it and then attack with those shock divisions. Here we go. Look at how many Banner Knights. Here they're charging. Look at all the arrows raining in. The javelins are knocking guys off their horses already. All right, let's square the 4th as well. I might have been a little bit late over there. And now this 3rd division, full of cav murderers, gets told to attack, right? These Manavliatons are now wailing away. And the cav is kind of circling our archers here. So we're going to suffer... Well, see, their momentum is slowed, though. These guys, in fact, they're peeling off. That was fortuitous. We're going to back these skirmishers up. We're going to back up the 2nd cav. That's also going to act as a defensive layer. But look at the death spam. This is against Banner Knights, and our fucking shock troops are just absolutely tearing people apart. All right, so we're starting to move back now, and the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want their archers doing damage to us, right? All those sharpshooters, well, they're not going to do a lot of damage if we're at maximum range. So we're going to kite with this process. I'm pulling back the 6th and the 2nd. Those are defensive lines here. The skirmishers right there and the cav. We've only got like 10 cav, but they're acting like a wall, slowing down the enemy's progress. Now, I'm not going to fight in this battle, but I might get in the way of enemy cav and just kind of grapple them, so to speak, and hold them up while we pummel them. It's a beautiful start so far. Their cav really hasn't even attacked our 5th. Almost like the battle against the Khazaits. You see our shock troops are in there going crazy. Those guys are all going to get killed, but they're doing mega damage as they get killed. An amazing amount of Banner Knights are already dead. They've been shot from their mounts. Of course, a lot of their brunt of their attack was useless because they attacked our square. Right? Those guys with extra banner bonuses against melee damage in a square are not impervious, but they're highly resistant to cav damage. This guy, you see how he's held up and he's getting pummeled? If their cav can't move, they obviously are not going to do a lot of damage. Cavalry derive the majority of their damage from movement. Now they're starting to circle and cycle charge here. This is not good. We're going to definitely suffer losses here. I mean, it's not like you're going to be able to fight like a flawless battle against the Banner Knights. And we're going to continue to kite here. I want to draw my units up the map. I would love to use the Peekaboo Ridge behind me, but I'm aware that my reinforcements are going to come from somewhere up here. They may even come from our left. And if that happens, our units will be really separated. So our square is still working. We're just dragging this square around. I've got the crossbow also in a square to protect them. And then whenever they're free of cav like this, that's when I can just go back over to those crossbow and pull them out of their square. Frankly, though, at this stage, I'm fine with them being in a square. Okay, the enemy's got infantry and archers moving up. Let's put the skirmishers in a shield wall right in the middle of our archers here, because I want to attack these cav. Look at how bound up they are. This is a perfect opportunity. We charge with the archers and the skirmishers, and look at how badly the enemy cav is held up. They can't hardly move. And these are just archers attacking them, right? But if there's 150 guys around you and you can't move, it's a bad result. Look at these cav. They can't move. Banner Knights are getting fucking torn from their horses. And now as they retreat, they get shot, right? It's a beautiful combination. All right, what do we got here? The enemy's sending up a big line of infantry up the middle. They didn't have as much infantry as a lot of times the Vlandians have. They have a heavy army of sharpshooters and cav. Of course, I still see a lot of Banner Knights coming through here. We're going to definitely suffer some losses. It's an inevitability to that. But again, look at these guys. They can't move, and they're getting railed off their horses. You can square your archers in a situation like this, but I don't want to do that. Okay, the 4th is getting crushed. They're almost destroyed. I'm still moving this 1st Division around, and okay, I got an idea. Let's move the 6th back. Infantry's heading towards the 6th. I'm going to drag my square, my 1st Division's the square. We're going to drag that in front of them like bait. It's almost like a magician, right? We're dragging that 1st in front. We're going to grab their attention, and then with these skirmishers, we'll attack the units that are attacking our square. If I am getting reinforcements, it's coming out right behind me. I haven't noticed any yet. I could really use some reinforcements. See, they're attacking our square. Now these skirmishers, they can be told to charge, right? The enemy's distracted by the square, and in come our 6th skirmishers. Wow, I'm getting this fucking speared off my horse here. I'm trying to keep... Okay, here's reinforcements. I'm trying to keep moving. All right, what do we got here? I got 80 cav. Okay, we're going to drag the cav behind me. We're going to charge with infantry and archers. We will have them spread out towards the top arc here. Okay, beautiful. Now let's drag our cav right through here. Hey, a little payback, fucking Vlandia. We've got some cav too. And this isn't going to kill a lot of them. These are weak cavalry, but it is going to distract and stop a lot of these sharpshooters from shooting, right? They're getting run over now by cav. Very bad result for them. And at a minimum, it's going to be distracting from those units, right? They're not going to be shooting us. Critically, at this stage, our archers are largely unmolested, right? That's one of the keys to winning this battle, if we can win. I look up at the power bar and we're still dominated. But, okay, this is a problem. I've got a big line of infantry charging us here, and I don't really have a counter. Our archers are just peeling back. We're probably going to have to attack them. Let's get a perpendicular line of crossbow here. That'll help with some enfilade fire, and then we're going to have to, frankly, charge them with archers. I've got this infantry down here. They're not going to be any good. If they turn their back, they'll be shot by these crossbow. So we're going to have to do it with the archers themselves. Now, these archers aren't worthless fighters. They're just not good at it, right? They're getting pummeled by high-rank infantry. But if we have 50 archers here attacking 20 guys, of course, I just trucked like 5 of them. Maybe they've got a shot here. Let's have these guys charge and do the best they can. Okay, I've got more reinforcements coming in. Let's get a shield wall line here lined up to take a lot of the damage from these arrows. The archers are doing good work there, cutting through the melee. I gotta deal with these sharpshooters. Let's see what we can do. Let's stick this infantry in a shield wall, and we're gonna systematically push them in on the enemy's archers there. Those sharpshooters are really causing damage. We're going to continue to spread out this 4th Division. It's a huge amount of archers. Now that they have a line of shield wall in front of them, we'll get them spread out. Look, again, these cav can't move. If cav can't move, what they are is effectively just vulnerable infantry. Look at them getting pummeled, getting fucking cut down from their horses. All right, my infantry line is starting to move forward. I want these guys more thicker, right towards the enemy line. You see all these fucking sharpshooters here? Well, they're not going to be shooting much once there's a whole bunch of shields in their face. The archers are starting to spread out, but it's getting kind of bloody. Alright, let's move this infantry right into the face of the enemy in a huge thick block, and now these guys can charge. So much for you sharpshooter motherfuckers. They can get barreled in by fucking infantry. Our turn to fucking pound your archers. All right, now that they're protected for a bit, let's get these archers spread out. Eventually, I want to move everybody towards that Peekaboo Ridge. Right now, they're in a beautiful position. The enemy's getting pummeled here. It might even be... I might even have an opportunity to square that division. But look at our archers. Our archers have a brilliant position. We're uphill, they're spread out, and they're pounding the enemy from 2 different angles. The death spam is decidedly in our favor. Okay, this is another line of cav. Again, we can drive this guy right through their fucking archers here. And infantry. It's a good spot for them, too. Those infantry are going to pour right over to the ridge into their archers. These infantry in here look like they're fading. Alright, we drag cav into their archers. They've got infantry barreling into them while they're busy. Let's continue to stretch out our archer lines here. There's a nice big tranche. What is this? I got archer reinforcements. The 5th Corps. All right, let's stretch these guys out here on this arc. When you have two archer corps like this, and a lot of guys wonder why I use two archer corps, what you want to do with them is you want to have them so that they can protect each other. You don't want them positioned right next to each other, because then the enemy just attacks the big glob. What you want is them to be separated. That way, if the enemy's attacking my 4th archers like they are here, this other archer corps, once it sets up, will be able to shoot them. Meanwhile, the other archer corps can fight back somewhat, but these guys can shoot the shit out of the enemy, right? You don't want them next to each other. And you see them getting shot off their horses. Now both archer divisions are free. This is definitely shaping up like we can win this. All right, let's focus here. Let's start moving these guys like you would move in a first-person shooter. We are going to stagger their movement. I'm going to move one archer unit at a time here. I've got a decent infantry line there holding back the enemy. But I don't actually want to charge all those enemies downhill. I'm going to start moving towards our ridge here. I might do better with the square, actually. Okay, so one unit's moved. Now we'll move the other one. And the idea with that is that one archer division is always shooting. You don't want to move both. See, those guys are now all firing. All right, let's go move these guys in the square. We can get the enemy to chase them, right? Their infantry's definitely going to attack the infantry square. And then we can effectively drag this while we rake them with broadsides here. Both archer divisions are now beautifully set up. I don't see good... Okay, I was about to say, now we see good green death spam. They're absolutely smoking this infantry in the back. You can see them. I'm going to move the square so that it's facing... so that it's further away from this. And what that does is it literally drags the enemy downhill, and they're getting shot in the back. Look at these guys getting smoked by fucking... The arrow fire is just smoking these guys. Look at this dipshit trying to attack me. Get the fuck out of here with your little fucking... little pathetic sword. Alright. Their crossbowmen are starting to move in. And I think it's time to... Yeah. They're shooting the shit out of the 5th Division. The 4th is ready to go over the hill, though. Let's get the 4th over the hill. We'll continue to move this square. These guys are still taking broadsides from our troops. And at this stage, right, we have the same level of troops as the enemy. At least comparable. Alright, so let's get the 4th stretched out. The enemy has a lot of crossbow approaching us. And with the death spam is starting to turn red again. Alright, let's get our guys over the edge of this ridge. We'll stick the square over here. And now we can do a little peekaboo ridge advantage for archers here. We can get our 4th Corps tucked in over this ridge. Those enemy crossbow, we almost have the same amount of archers as them. If we can get our archers over this ridge, when they come over this ridge, we're going to have a nasty surprise for them. The 5th Corps is being shot to pieces, but we can get these guys pulled over as well. That cost us about 15 units on the movement there, but that's okay. Okay, there's heavy cav still. The enemy still has fucking heavy cav. Fuck. Alright, let's get infantry spread out on this ridge, and here's the idea with this, folks. If you've never seen this before, the main idea is effectively to hold this ridge. We're not going over, and any enemy forces that come over are going to be shot at by our 80 archers. 88, 90. We have almost 100 archers here. They're not strong, but all of their arrows at once, like this poor bastard coming over, he's going to get obliterated. Yeah, now what we want to do is put our infantry right at the edge of the ridge so they can't really get down towards our archers, right? We're denying them access to our archers, and we're smoking them full of arrows. Where are their crossbow? These guys are getting smoked. You can see the arrows just whistling over the ridge. Oh, okay, their crossbow's more towards this north side here. So we're gonna move this whole line of infantry. And the idea with that is if too many of the crossbow get over to the ridge, we attack. We will drive our forces directly into them with infantry, but look at them getting smoked by our archers. And they can only get, what do they got, like 10, 12 archers on the ridge here, and they're getting shot by our 80 guys. This is a very bad situation for the enemy. This battle is over. The enemy's in a checkmate position here. Their crossbowmen are coming over. Look at the withering fire they're coming up into. Every single one of these guys is getting shot 3 times. You can actually hear them routing. It's time to charge the infantry here and finish this division off. In fact, let's charge with everybody. Let's charge with the 4th, the 5th. All of these guys can be told to fucking charge. Give them hell. And that's that. Another battle with our scrub army where we fucking dishonored a high-level, very powerful Vlandian force. What are these fucking guys doing? These guys look like they're bugged. Let's send our infantry in here. Actually, you know what? My axe needs to be red. Catch a javelin, you fuck. Look at this poor Vlandian. Tell your king to bring more troops next time. We've got our sturgeon warriors here and guys in fucking cloth and leather armor. Your banner knights are not enough. Well, it wasn't a decisive massacre here, but how could it be, like, with our low-level troops? Now, our companions didn't get a huge amount of kills. 6, 13, 1. It wasn't like they killed 100. Now, let's see what some of our units did here. So our sturgeon archers did good work, 77 kills. The soldiers actually did good work. The forester, whatever that is, that's a nice archer. They did some good work. None of these units are tier 5 or 6, though. I mean, imagine what we would have done here if we had Battanian Fianchamps, etc. And some characters gaining some medicine skill. She gained a little bit of medicine skill. She got 28 kills, so Yelen, or however you pronounce that, she did some pretty good work. But again, this is mostly accomplished by our scrubby troops here. Now, how did the enemy do? How did their banner knights do? We completely neutralized them with those 2 squares and butchered the shit out of them with our shock division. Where are their banner knights? Can't. She's got 2. Did they not enter the battle? I swear they had 100 banner knights. More than 100 banner knights, I thought. Here we go. Look at this. This is amazing. Their banner knights got 16 kills and they lost 46. So that is a disgraceful ratio. So basically, 3 banner knights died for every one person they killed. I mean, that is incredible. What do they call it? KDR or whatever? That's a 3-to-1 ratio. Look at this again. This is even worse. They got 3 kills and we killed 35 banner knights. I mean, that is absolute textbook destruction right there. Now, admittedly, right, they attacked our squares. You can call that bad AI. You can call it exploiting the AI. But isn't that what life is all about, right? Like, if you're playing an opponent, you're assessing the weaknesses and attacking their weaknesses, right? Until we get a generative AI where the AI is really advanced in learning. Look at all our prisoners here. We take all these banner knights prisoner. Until we get a generative AI, this is what we have, right? We have the vanilla Bannerlord, or even the RBM Bannerlord. And it's our job, right, as commanders in this game to figure it out. Look at all our upgrades. All these guys are upgraded from this battle. I'm going to have to reload this save game, because otherwise all these guys are going to be just sitting here waiting for upgrades. The point, though, is that, you know, we're fighting an opponent and we're looking for weaknesses, just like playing a human opponent. I remember when I used to play Age of Empires a couple decades ago, and I started to get very high ranked. I was playing like national tournaments. At that stage, you were doing the same thing, right? Human opponents just have the same weaknesses. You would observe how they play. You would look for weaknesses, and then as soon as you found those weaknesses, you would exploit them to the fullest, right? That's what we've done here in this battle. You can see all these wounded troops. We're going to continue on with this series. It's been a lot of fun for me. Of course, hopefully there's nuggets here that you fellas out there can glean for your own campaign. Admittedly, this is not a challenge that I expect other people just to easily pull off. This takes an enormous amount of movement, troop coordination, and awareness of the battlefield. But hopefully this series is really helping you guys advance your game, learn some advanced concepts and tactics for the battlefield, and win your own battles in Bannerlord. So we'll look for a few more challenges here, but I think that's a pretty comprehensive mix now. That's 7 or 8 battles. If you want to see something custom, let me know. As usual, please hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate you fellas. Ask questions if you're interested, and I will talk to you friends next time.